So the spread of the highly contagious Delta variant has prompted the CDC to update its mask guidelines ahead of schools reopening this fall, regardless of...
Hello, today I present to you an extremely attractive application for music lovers. It's completely free. You can listen to music online or download unlimited music to use whenever you don't have internet. The powerful search function helps you find anything you want. Trust me. It's hard not to find what you're looking for because the search function is really powerful. Application download link is attached in the description of the video. I'm pretty sure you'll like it. Thanks.
Vaccination status. The CDC recommends universal indoor masking for all teachers, staff, students, and visitors to K-12 schools. Some states are following the health agency's recommendations, while others are not. In Arizona, Governor Doug Ducey signed a law prohibiting mask mandates in schools. That law goes into effect September 29th. But when schools opened their doors last week, students in Phoenix Union High School District, well, they returned wearing masks. Joining us now is Dr. Chad Gestson. He is the superintendent of the Phoenix Union High School District and a member of the Chiefs for Change. Thank you so much for joining us. Quite frankly, it has sort of confounded me, these governors that have been instituting these bans on mask mandates. The ban in your state doesn't go into effect until September, but the kids have already returned to class. You are encouraging kids to wear masks. How is that going? How are parents receiving that?
Yeah, well, good morning. Thanks again for having me. Here in Arizona, we start school a little earlier. We're already a week and a half into the school year. We're not just encouraging masks here in Phoenix Union, we're requiring them. And it's been a fantastic start to the school year. I know that our kids and our families and our communities want to get back to a sense of normalcy. We brought back 30,000 teenagers, 4,000 employees, and we're not just back to in-person learning, which feels good. We're high schools. We're back to clubs, sports, activities. My daughter's a senior in our district. I know today there's student government elections. I saw a post this morning about a football team avoiding the Arizona heat, starting practice at 5 o'clock in the morning. We're trying to get our kids back to normal because they deserve to be back to normal. Masks is a critical part of that. Our parents, our staff, our students are very supportive.
So yesterday, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis said some parents have come to him and expressed their concerns about kids wearing masks in school. I want to play a bit of what he said, and we'll talk about it.
A lot of parents have come. They've come to me. They've come to the school boards and said this has been very difficult on their young kids to have to sit there for 8 hours with this. It's not natural. It's never been studied what the effects of that are. You know, NIH has a $42 billion budget. They've not spent a single penny since COVID started studying how these mitigations affect kids. So ultimately, my view is it's a parent's decision. If you believe in the masking during the school, you're free to do it. No one's saying you can't do it.
So what kind of resources are being used to help shape the decisions you make as COVID cases continue to rise across your state? And is the point of understanding for you the governor who doesn't have a medical background or public health officials who continue to suggest that masks are important to preventing the spread of this disease, which has killed hundreds of thousands of people in this country?
Yeah, we've been really clear, especially as an educational institution, that we teach science and we therefore must trust science. We're educators, we're not healthcare experts. And we've said from minute one that we would follow the guidance, guidelines, and recommendations of CDC and local health officials. That's why we've continued to promote vaccines, mask wearing, sanitization on our campuses. When people are sick, stay home. We know that there's a lot of opinions around about masks in COVID, but we're not in the business of opinions. We're in the business of facts and science. We have to protect the people that we serve. We have millions of school children across our nation, 1.1 million here in Arizona. In the footprint of Phoenix Union, over 100,000 students, tens of thousands of educators. Our people deserve school systems and leaders, governing boards, elected officials to trust and lean into the science and the recommendations from health experts.
And yet now the district finds itself being sued by one of its teachers, somebody who did not, agree with you expecting teachers and students to wear masks. Are you worried about this lawsuit? Are you concerned that if you don't win, then you will have to lift your mask mandate?
Well, we feel very comfortable where we're at from a legal perspective. Obviously can't talk in too much detail about active litigation, but very confident in our decision, as is everyone else in the community. I know that we have a hearing this Friday, but what we also know is that we've heard from not just students, families, parents, but from healthcare experts. The support for this decision has been widespread and overwhelming. We've heard from hospitals, nurses, doctors. You just had a gentleman on, Gestson, from my alma mater, University of Washington. That has been the loudest choir of support for this decision. People who know the science, that know that we're trying to protect our children. We're going to continue to require masks. We know that there are some dates in the future. A lot can change over the next few weeks. The virus can change, the recommendations can change. But right now, where we stand, we feel very confident in our decision. And as I said, we've been back for a week and a half. It's been a great week. Minimum spread on our campuses. Our goal from day one has been not only to protect our people, but when we come back to this in-person learning idea that we used to love so much, that we get to stay back.
So let's talk about the systems that are in place to avoid what some might call clusters, of COVID infections within your schools. I mean, if you are sending a child to the school, what can they rely on to ensure that their kids will be safe?
I think a few things. One, we do have to recognize that schools across our country, especially high schools, are large. Kids are social. Kids will be in large spaces like cafeterias. And so full social distancing in schools across our nation is just not going to be possible, which is why mitigation matters. Number one, it's about the vaccine. Phoenix Union has taken the lead on vaccinations here in Phoenix. We've given out over 30,000 vaccines on our campuses alone. We do weekend events still all throughout this month. We are also offering the vaccine on site on our campuses during the school day and after school on every single one of our campuses. Vaccinations work. They matter. It's important that we continue to provide access to that. But on top of that, masks. On top of that, really good cleaning and sanitizing protocols. And at the same time, it's so critically important that when our staff and our students are not feeling well or are symptomatic, that they stay home. This is a public health issue. It's about common good, and we need to be willing to make decisions that not only protect ourselves, but protect others.
I'm just curious. Obviously, you are dedicated to the betterment and the education of young people, but now you find yourself smack dab in the middle of this political firestorm, if you will. It's probably too strong of a term. But I'm wondering, you said that you received a lot of support. I'm wondering if you've heard from people who are critical, other than this one teacher that's suing. Do you know if they're even from your school district? And just how you feel about the politicization of this issue?
Yeah, in general, you're absolutely right. And I think firestorm is probably an appropriate term. This has become very over-politicized. The vaccine itself is over-politicized. The mask is over-politicized. We know vaccines have played a key role in our countries and our planet's health for generations. Polio, measles, even the flu shot. And this has become certainly over-politicized. As I said, the support's been widespread. Not only do we obviously facing this lawsuit, we've heard from others, a couple in our system, certainly those outside of Phoenix, even those outside of Arizona. A lot of the critics aren't in our backyard. They're in other places in our nation. Our job, of course, is not to listen to the noise. I have a phrase I've shared with many people that the haters may be loud, but the supporters are many. And it's our job to focus on what's right and what's best for our kids. And that's to keep them safe and to keep them in school.
All right, Dr. Chad Gestson, thank you so much for being with us. We appreciate it.
Thank you.